Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wa Mursaleen. Nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. We usually use this time before Salat al-Jum'ah to answer questions that have been submitted online. If you're interested in having your question answered, you can go to the website hijrah.info. That's hijrah.info/QA if you want to submit your question anonymously. This is new. I get to look at myself while I'm answering questions. Is using a nebulizer okay to do when fasting? No, because nebulizers are usually long-term. It's very different from an inhaler. An inhaler, there is a difference of opinion concerning the inhaler. But if the person needs to use the inhaler to remove major discomfort, I think it is permissible for that person to use that inhaler. This is a fatwa. I believe Sheikh Yusuf Ardawi used to give this fatwa as well. Most of the scholars say that inhalers do break the fast. A nebulizer, because it is something that is long-term, I believe it is something that would also break the fast. For investments in stocks, should capital gains and dividends be purified or just dividends? So if you mean purified here, do you give zakat on them? You give zakat on everything. Any money that an individual holds, that there would be given zakat on that. It just depends on how you're holding those stocks and for how long you're holding them. I have a zakat series on this. Please feel free to email me if you have specific details on how you would give zakat on these. Would it be possible for the imam to translate the dua read during the witr prayer and for it to be posted to the YouTube channel for us non-Arabic speakers and read and referenced? I don't know. I'll ask see if we can do it, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Can you please repeat any questions you get from someone in the front when they ask you? Yes, I can. I apologize. I'll make sure that I do that. What should I do when I'm at the very bottom of my life and it feels like everything is going downhill? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks about nasr, when He talks about victory, He says, Ala inna nasrullahi qareeb, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's victory is very near. And there's another ayah where it says, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He talks about the believers, right? So if you look at the entire ayah, it's actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that He's testing the believers, and in the same verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Hatta yaqulu Rasul, right? Even the messenger from them, He says, Mata nasrullah. So the way the believer addresses Allah in this verse, and the way the Prophet and the messenger addresses Allah in this verse, they're two very, very different things, right? So for us, when we feel tight, when we feel like things are very difficult and we feel like things are challenging, we start doubting on whether change is going to come, right? Like that, we start having that doubt, like, man, is Allah really going to change the situation? Is Allah really going to pull me out of this hardship? Is He really going to pull me out of this difficulty? And the messenger saying, Mata nasrullah, like, when is Allah's victory coming? It's more of a logistical question, right? He knows it's coming. He knows 100% sure it's coming. It's just a matter of, like, is it coming now? Is it coming in an hour? Is it coming, tomorrow? But this just gives us an idea, and it tells us that, okay, even messengers who are in communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not necessary that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals to them the exact moment of when ease is going to come. And we also know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna ma'al usri yusra, right? With hardship comes ease, meaning that in order for me to recognize ease, in order for me to appreciate it, I have to experience hardship first. I can't know what good food is like until I'm hungry, right? I can't know what tasty food is like until I taste bad food or I taste poor quality food. This is what helps us develop appreciation. I can't know what it's like to maybe come to the masjid walking or maybe taking the bus versus having a car, right? I know a lot of us complain about parking, and which is completely understandable, and I agree it is a problem. But how many people have to walk? How many people have to take the bus? How many people have to take other modes of transportation that are not as convenient? I know a handful of brothers, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aid them and make it easy for them, who are stuck in wheelchairs, right? And they have to wait for that bus to come and pick them up, then they have to come through here, right? It's not easy. Everybody has challenges and everybody has difficulties. I remember I used to own a car. I used to make dua every time before I started the car for Allah to start the car, because I didn't know if the car was going to start or not. But now it helps me appreciate the cars that I know and I have more confidence in when I start them. Right? We need difficulty in order to appreciate all the good that we have. I need to know what it's like to be without a job to appreciate the job when I'm getting a regular paycheck. These are things that we need to experience so that we can be appreciative of them. So if you feel you're at a point where the world is kind of closing in around you, if you feel you're in a point where you don't think you can carry on anymore, then I will say this, at least on what I've experienced, and others have shared their experiences with me. That means you just have to hold on a little bit longer, right? It's just a little bit more, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a way, because He Azza wa Jal, He promises, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا, right? Whoever has taqwa of Allah, whoever has God consciousness, Allah will make a way for him. وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, right? And He'll provide for him in ways that he didn't even imagine. It might not be what I want, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might give me a job, but He might give me a job in something I didn't want that job. Right? Or I wanted a certain salary and maybe I don't get that much salary. But it's better than not having a salary, it's better than not having a job. And maybe Allah is giving me this to help me to appreciate, to help me to grow, to help me learn. Sometimes we're also very bad at budgeting, right? Most of us are not good at dealing with money. Okay, well if Allah is giving me less, He's telling me, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها, right? Allah does not burden the soul more than it can bear. If I'm only giving you this much money, then you have to figure out a way to make it work. Because I'm giving you the amount to make it work. This doesn't mean that we don't strive for more. It doesn't mean that we don't work harder. It doesn't mean that we don't make more effort. But if I only have this much right now, then I should truly believe and expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me that amount that allows me to push forward. It's not easy, right? Inna ma'al usri yusra, right? Inna ma'al usri, right? And with difficulty. So in order for me to appreciate that ease, I need to push through that difficulty. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He increases us in different ways, right? وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, right? Whenever you are thankful, I will only increase you. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue increasing us. Ameen.